Hello, girls and boys. Welcome to Storytime Fun. We hope you enjoy it.
Today's story is called The Mess Detectives: Trouble with Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to read is silly. The names have been changed to protect the serious. In the city of Bumbleberg, the worst messes are taken care of by the Major Mess Division. That includes me and my partner. My name is Detective Larry the Cucumber, and my partner is Bob the Tomato. He carries a badge. I carry a badger. Don't ask why. We are the Mess Detectives, and this is our story. 9:33 a.m. I was doodling in my notebook when an important call came in. Junior Asparagus was in a big mess at home. We hopped into our car and sped through town. As I drove through the streets, Bob tried to tell me how to get to Junior's house, but I wasn't really listening. I knew the way. 10:02 a.m. After making 4 wrong turns and accidentally driving through Madame Blueberry's backyard, we reached the house. We found Mr. and Mrs. Asparagus sitting at the kitchen table and staring at a piece of paper. My name is Detective Larry, and this is my partner Bob, I said. Tell us what happened, said Bob. It's Junior's report card, said Mr. Asparagus. He got a bad report from his teachers. I pulled out some rubber gloves. Rubber gloves? Bob asked. I don't want to get fingerprints on the evidence or the report card, I said. But Larry, you don't have fingers. Oh, right. My badger took the gloves. I took a look at the report card with my magnifying glass. Doesn't look so bad to me. Junior got an N for a nice job in all of his classes. Bob flipped the report card over. Now, all of the N's looked like U's. Yipes, I said. I guess Junior got U's for unsatisfactory. That means Junior's teachers are unhappy with his schoolwork, explained Bob. But why? Why? Asked Mrs. Asparagus. We'll find out, ma'am. As we got ready to leave, I slipped the report card into a plastic bag. That's what detectives do with evidence. Larry, said Bob. Yes, Bob. You just put the report card in with your lunch bag with your tuna and peanut butter sandwich. 10:47 a.m. We arrived at Veggie Valley Elementary School and set up a 2-way mirror in the janitor's closet. We could see Junior's class, but they couldn't see us. Pretty nifty. While Bob watched Junior, I decided to eat my lunch early. I needed to empty the plastic bags in case we got more evidence. 11:32 a.m. Aha! I figured out why Junior is not doing well in school, Bob said. He's not listening in class. You talking to me? I asked Bob. I said, Junior isn't listening, Bob grumbled. Just look at him. He's doodling, whispering to other kids, and messing around. While Bob continued to talk, I cut the crust off my sandwich. It's really important to listen because sometimes God teaches us through the things people say, Bob pointed out. When you listen, you learn. Don't you agree, Larry? Larry? Larry! Startled, I looked up from my sandwich. Sorry, I wasn't listening. Bob rolled his eyes. He does that a lot. 1:00 p.m. We decided to talk with Junior and his parents that evening. I'll meet you at Junior's home at 6:00, Bob told me. He gave me directions to the house. I should have made a note of that, but I wasn't listening. 5:45 p.m. I hopped in the car to head to Junior's house, but I must have made a wrong turn somewhere. I didn't remember Bob saying anything about driving through Mr. Lunt's petunias. 6:15 p.m. I was on the highway heading away from Bumblebeeburg. This couldn't be right. I decided I better call Bob on the car radio. Only one big problem. I didn't know how to use the new police radio in our car. I wasn't listening when Bob told me. 7:43 p.m. I stopped at a gas station to ask for directions. Unfortunately, the P's at the gas station didn't speak English. I was lost big time. 8:22 p.m. Finally, my badger figured out how to use the police radio. Bob, come in, Bob. Bob, are you there? Said Larry. Car 54, where are you? Bob asked. Everyone is waiting for you. Bob, I think I'm lost. Your directions didn't say anything about driving by a bull tickling ring, did they? Bull tickling? Bob exclaimed. Larry, I think you're in Mexico! Mexico? Suddenly my heart leaped and my stomach dropped. Mexico isn't on the way to Junior's house, is it? No! Bob shouted. You're way off course, Larry. You weren't listening when I gave you the directions. Bob was really mad. He was probably turning red in the face. Don't you remember what I said? Bob cried. When you listen, you learn. Larry, are you still there? Midnight. Finally, I made it to Junior's house. Mr. Asparagus answered the door in his bathrobe. Sorry I'm late, Mr. Asparagus. Are you ready to talk about Junior's problems in school? Mr. Asparagus yawned. Detective Larry, Bob left a long time ago. However, we do have some good news. I learned why it's important to listen, came a voice from the staircase. It was Junior. I learned that if you don't listen, you can wind up in a big mess, just like you, Detective Larry. That's right, added Mr. Asparagus. All evening, we listened to Bob talk to you on the radio. Junior learned that letting his mind wander in school is a lot like wandering all over the map. When you don't listen, it can really mess you up. Right-o, I said. Also, listening shows you care, said Mr. Asparagus. If you listen to a teacher or a parent or a friend, it shows you care about them. You care about what they have to say to you. I made a note of that. Suddenly, I realized that I, too, had acted like I didn't care. If I had really cared about Bob, I would have listened to what he had to say. Thanks for showing me why I should learn to listen, Junior said to me with a smile. Glad to help, I answered. I felt bad about how I had messed up today. Adios, I said, and I went back to my car. Adios, Detective Larry. 1:15 a.m. I couldn't sleep, so I drove over to Bob's house and asked if we could get a slushie at the all-night diner. Sorry I didn't listen to you today, I said to Bob. You're forgiven. The important thing is that you learned something, just like Junior did. That's true, I said with a tired smile. Maybe this was God's way of teaching you an important lesson, Bob continued. From now on, you'll listen to what God is trying to say to you. You're so right, I said as I made a left turn. Larry? Yes, Bob. I don't think you're supposed to be driving across Mr. Nezer's front porch. You have a point there, I said, backing the car down the steps. Bob gave me directions once again, but this time I listened. At long last, I was headed in the right direction. Oh, that's it for today. See you next time.